It is Saturday, the 1st of March, 2025. And in this video, I'm just throwing it out in the ether. And if it makes it to Elon Musk or part of his team, then it is what it is, and it was supposed to happen. And so I just wanted to do a short, less than 20-minute video, like I said, and focus on things that I've predicted before they happen that could have been resolved and mitigated, and significantly less harm and death and suffering and financial loss in the process could have been mitigated had people listened to me. So I could share my resume, all that stuff, but like I think that actions speak louder than words, and if I can show credibility to videos that I've done in the past, and then I think that would matter more. And so I'm just going to show clips from my longer video from this morning. Just in case. Very interesting. And I talked about them a bit in yesterday's video, but for anyone new, so I tagged NATO in a tweet. This was November 15th, 2022, the same day that 2 Polish farmers died due to a Ukrainian missile strike. They say it was an accident, stuff like that. They said it afterwards, after people like me were saying that it was not right. They were blaming Russia. NATO was blaming Russia. Even people like Wayne Eyre, the chief of defense staff, was putting Article 5 on the table, even on social media. And so, like, even at this time, I'm showing you that same day. I tagged NATO. What else can I do as a citizen of the world, right? But to try to prevent disaster, if you can, right? I don't think I'm anyone special, but I'm just saying that the more people that peacefully put posts like this out and tag these organizations and these people, like, the more chances there are of them actually receiving it, getting those messages, right? Anyway, because of the algorithms, the censorship, the shadow banning, all that stuff. So anyways, please do not consider Article 5, which means NATO involvement. Just to be clear, do not escalate this. We need to avoid playing into World War II, Canadian politics. I actually said World War III. I just said it wrong. But you'll see the tweet. This is what I tagged as well, because this was fucking politicized. The chief of defense staff and Anita Anand, who was the Minister of National Defense at the time. And yeah, this was like just such a, even thinking back to this was such a stressful time, because I was like, fuck, like we're gonna get like, oh, I realize now that you didn't see, because I didn't have I'll just put it back up first. So this is the tweet. Wait 1 second. Yeah, so this was the tweet I was just talking about, just to show you the date, 15 November 2022, 7:22 p.m. This was after already talking about what actually happened, and trying to address that. My LinkedIn account got deleted shortly after this as well. Talked about that. And I was like, people are gonna get friggin' duped yet again, because we have friggin' morons at the top, not at the medium levels. Like, there's so many heroes I know, right? That if these friggin' people at the top, like Brenda Lucky types, would actually sit down and talk with some of their friggin' chain of command at the lower levels, they would be awakened as to the actual reality of the friggin' world, because that's the right thing to do for humanity. Anyway, very interesting. All right. Second Canadian to die fighting in Ukraine, repatriated by family, not Ottawa. They don't fucking care about you. So he was a former Patricia, Joseph Hildebrand. I've talked about him before, but he passed away in 2022 at the end of it. I forget the friggin' date, because I thought it was November. I should know this, or December. Yeah, he was blown away. Yeah. So he was trying to help. And this was I was also working with these people with it, but because I wasn't vaccinated, I couldn't go to Ukraine. But I know multiple people who went there to try to assist, because they were getting sucked nuts. I shouldn't say that, because they were getting misinformed, including by our chief of defense staff, Wayne Eyre, who is also a Patricia, and he was considered to be a legend in the regiment in the Canadian Armed Forces, and until COVID, no offense, but and so people, like, it's like a war cry, like rallying the troops, right? When you're talking about things like Article 5, when you're talking about things like going to war with people that are, all these awful things, right? So November 7th, Chris's phone rang around 7 a.m. Okay, so yeah, so November 7th. Oh. And I think that his blood is on Wayne Eyre and Justin Trudeau's and all of them. I think it's on their hands. And yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, this is Cap Brass. This is if you were in the Special Forces, and this is the regular Green Army beret and Cap Brass. But yeah, same friggin' Cap Brass as Wayne Eyre, the Chief of Defense Staff, where multiple people that were veterans in the military went over, and some lost their lives, got injured, saw the most awful things, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day, after just getting crazy friggin' harassing texts, declared, I emailed Pierre Poilievre even before the voting started because I was tracking the fact that they were going to be putting this up as a vote. Interesting time too. Like, why are you, anyway, thinking about me during the most romantic period? Anyway, and even though I was going through a lot of shit, the Emergency Act was declared. I emailed Pierre Poilievre even before the voting started because I was tracking the fact that they were going to be putting this up as a vote. And it's not like, do not vote for the Emergency Act. Like, it's unconstitutional, unlawful. I didn't use those terms, but I said it's like you can't do this. Like, it's like going against Canadians, and you don't understand what's going on. Anyway, and Conservatives did vote against largely the Emergency Act being declared, even at the time. Give them credit for that. But anyways, even 10 days before Russia actually allegedly invaded. For months, I was tracking this, where like people were talking about tensions rising, like escalation of NATO assets and funding and weaponry and advanced laser technology, like, and biolabs connected to even Hunter Biden with like financially and corruption and the CIA. So I'm all over the place, but anyway, this should have been resolved diplomatically, peacefully before it kicked off. Right, there were so many opportunities, and Russia and Ukraine absolutely wanted to go to the table and have peaceful negotiations moving forward, a peace deal. It would have been more beneficial, clearly, in so many different ways, to Ukraine and Ukrainian people had that peace deal been accepted then, because guess what? Now, not only are you completely in debt, and you have at least hundreds of thousands of soldiers that have died, multiple more injured, your whole country is profoundly impacted and traumatized right now because of Zelensky, a puppet, liar, propagandist, and now you're getting more concessions that you're going to have to provide to Russia at this point, right? And like, let's see how the friggin' negotiation. So, anyways, like, this is just to point out that, like, how did I know this and share this? And I'm tagging people like Pierre Poilievre and Chrystia Freeland at the bottom there, Kath Freeland. She was the deputy prime minister at the time, and the finance minister. Well, Mark Carney was also involved in the financial debacle as well, and they were somehow surprised that this happened, even 10 days later, after I was even saying it on public platforms, but also in my communities and my networks prior to, and it was even on my whiteboard, actually, like even prior to the Freedom Convoy coming. And I reiterate this because so much could have been mitigated, and so much harm and suffering and money could have been, oh my God, saved internationally had this been dealt with properly. And we had weak leadership, especially with Justin Trudeau, also, again, like fully supporting and enabling psyops, whether he realizes it or not. It's just frustrating. All those people died. So this was 2021. This is Mark Carney. Make no mistake, the money is now there if the globe truly wants to arrest the climate crisis. They've been talking about it then. Yeah, today through the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero GFANZ, over 130 trillion of capital from blah, blah, blah. Anyway, transforming the economy, COP26. So like even 4 years ago, like this is my comment. I would prefer you get arrested, to be honest. And I'm just trying to add some credibility to my resume here, just to say that, like, people claim that conspiracy theorists are usually days, weeks, or months ahead of reality. I would argue that a lot of us, not even just me, but a lot of us are like years in advance, like talking about the scripts and what policies would be implemented and what natural and man-made disasters would happen and where. It's also predictable because they don't change the script. That's just, it is what it is. These are my two dogs playing with Steve. Because we were on a, with this.
Media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you bring people
like celebrities.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to
even like the political types? It's Yuri Bezmenov was talking about this in the 70s and 80s. Like how we don't oh my God. Anyway.
Bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems.
Anyway, I'm going to go into the actual videos.
Every day you get to see President Trump yell at Volodymyr Zelensky about not being grateful and not wanting to avoid World War III. I want to go through this story and many others. To help me do that, I have Tyler Boyer. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me.
Happy to be here, always.
So some background, Tyler is the COO for Turning Point. He works with Charlie Kirk and others to put on these incredible events, go to college campuses. I mean, how many red and white Make America Great hats have you guys given away around the country?
I think we
aim for your removal from the White House and losing the 2024 election. And he told him that President Biden blamed Barack Obama for causing the loss of the Democrat election, for Kamala Harris, and for getting him kicked out of the White House. What are your thoughts on him opening up about that to President Trump and his thoughts on blaming Barack Obama?
Yeah, I mean, it's showing a huge discrepancy in the left right now, and this is the problem that they have is they don't know where to go. Wanting to be a little bit more tenacious and very structured bench that they have, which has dissipated quite a bit, mainly because they've just been on the wrong side of a lot of issues, the vast majority of issues.
So yeah, short video. I'm going to do a long video and a short video every day. I hope this reaches Elon. I have a lot more content that you can look through to show what I've been calling out from the beginning. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.